Have I ever told you the dick story?
What?
Have I ever told you the dick story?
The dick story.
The dick story. The story of Tim and his rise and fall through the microcosm of the English classroom.
Rick, where are you going with this?
The dick story?
Yes, the dick story. Where are you going with this?
So, I presume you haven't heard it.
No. But listen, I should really get going.
One more drink won't kill you.
No, seriously, I haven't slept in ages and the hearing tomorrow, that's going to kill me.
Consider this a good night story.
No, Rick, we are fucked. We are so fucking fucked, and you know what's gonna happen tomorrow? We are going to walk in and get kicked right out. We threw our goddamn lives away, and my parents are going to disown me after they find out that I'm gonna end up living on their fucking underpass.
Lucy. We'll be fine. Relax. Now, how about you go grab us a drink and I'll tell you Timmy's tale?
Okay, fine. One more. Two more, please. My parents are going to disown me after they find out that I'm gonna end up living on their fucking underpass.
Cheer up!
I can't. We are fucked.
No, we're not.
God damn it, Rick. Why did
Lucy,
you have to
I did what had to be done.
Why didn't I just stay in bed?
You did what had to be done. We'll be fine, Lucy. We'll be fine.
How can you be this calm? There's
You know that I went to the Christian Springs boarding school, right?
Yeah?
So you know that I grew up in a rather strict environment. Kids would get into trouble for getting caught with comic books. You'd get suspended for even saying the word heck. At some point, somebody snuck in a porn mag and they were never seen again.
Is this the dick story?
Let's try this again. Yes, this is the dick story. As strict as the school was, however, you could never keep down a bunch of messed up 12-year-olds. We would do our best to entertain ourselves. Out of all the classes where we would mess around, though, there was one teacher who really took the cake. Miss Johnson's class. Miss Johnson was our English teacher. Apparently Johnson had some rare sight disorder where she had no peripheral vision. This became quite advantageous to us. When she was able to pay attention to us, we would still mess with her. She didn't like it too much.
Mrs. Johnson, Mrs. Johnson. Mrs. Johnson, can I please go to the bathroom, Mrs. Johnson?
Please stop repeating my name like that. It's making me uncomfortable.
I'm very sorry, I have to go to the bathroom, Miss Teacher.
That's a bit cruel, isn't it?
Well, Yeah, but that's the point of being a 12-year-old, isn't it? You get to act like a little shit before you're forced into growing a moral backbone.
Valid, I guess. We are so fucked.
Outside of disturbing the educational experience, the class was, as one might guess, insanely boring. That wasn't until one day, the kid who sat next to me, Timmy, discovered he had a special talent. Timmy was an artist. We used to sit in the back of the class. Timmy, me, and, what was her name? Timmy, me, and, Laura. On that fateful day, Timmy discovered his true talent. Timmy started off simple, normal dicks. But as time went on, Timmy got more complex. He got philosophical. He got romantic. He got historical. He even got political at some point. He drew a picture of George W. Bush with 3 dicks in front of him. 1 black, 1 white, and 1 broken.
What was that meant to represent?
I'm not entirely sure. Timmy was a bit ahead of his time. But anyways, things went well for a while. People respected Timmy's drawings. The art was something that brought joy into the class. There was even a girl who offered to do Timmy's classwork so he could properly focus on his drawings. But then, everything would change. About 2 months into Timmy's dickery, he would end up staring face to face with certain death.
So? What happened? What changed?
Timmy was to draw his one true masterpiece. A vampire with a shotgun. Now, of course, the teeth and shotgun were dicks. It's Tim we're talking about. But he went balls deep into his artistry. The vampire. The vampire was also a Nazi. This was by far the most amazing thing that Tim had ever created. But alas, all good things must come to an end.
Anderson? Are you passing notes in my class?
Mrs. Johnson, no, we would never pass notes in your class, Mrs. Johnson.
I can see the note. Bring it to me.
I'm so sorry, Mrs. Johnson. We'll never pass notes in your class again, Mrs. Johnson, ever.
Bring it to me.
Well, what happened?
Nothing.
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 Don't pass the notes in my class. Please.
We celebrated. The crisis had been averted. Yet Johnson still seemed very intrigued by the drawing. It dawned upon her that maybe it wasn't just an innocent note being passed around in class.
Everyone out of the class. Now! Except for you, Anderson.
That was the only time in 5 years that Johnson had ever let us out early for lunch. Anderson cracked within 30 seconds. He told Johnson where the drawings came from. Timmy was done for. He knew he would end up expelled. He knew he would end up disowned. He knew he would end up a homeless person living beneath the underpass.
So, what happened?
Nothing.
What?
Do you know what this is?
Timmy panicked. He just said the first thing that came to his mind.
No.
What do you mean?
I don't know what that is, Mrs. Johnson.
Did you not draw this?
No, Mrs. Johnson.
Why were you passing it around then?
I'm sorry for passing around, Mrs. Johnson. I just want to know what it was, Mrs. Johnson.
You shouldn't pass notes in my class.
I know, Mrs. Johnson. I'm sorry, Mrs. Johnson. I just really want to know what was on that picture, Mrs. Johnson. What is on that picture, Mrs. Johnson?
Something very, very rude. Something that a boy in your age doesn't need to hear about.
He got off with a warning. An idiot gets a lighter punishment than a smart man. Never admit guilt, always feign stupidity.
So, tomorrow,
Tomorrow we walk in and we pretend we had no idea what we were doing.
you think it'll work?
Well, worked for Timmy, didn't it?
Well, I guess it's worth a try. But listen, I really need to sleep now. So, see you tomorrow.
Dads and what? Dads and dogs. Dads and